Right, hello there, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you happen to be. My name is Paul, I'm also called Knickknack, and I'm the man who runs both Knickknacks Old Peculiar, the blog, and of course this YouTube channel, Mr. Cuddy2977. Please feel free to hit the subscribe button or put some money in the tip jar if you like what I'm doing. I usually do the daily teaser quiz. I also do film and movie reviews. I do the occasional bit of technology, and I do the occasional silly, cheesy joke. What is the only cheese that's made backward? Edam. That'll sink in one day. At any rate, I watch TV shows and try to review them, and I recently caught the last ever episode of what is Series 3 of Good Omens. And yes, when I say the last ever episode, I mean the actual title of the thing is the finale. The finale opens with a summary of earlier episodes, and then shifts to give us a potted history of the war in heaven, a war between heaven and hell that shows us one early meeting between Aziraphale, Michael Shane, and Crowley, David Tennant, a meeting that sees Aziraphale treating Crowley's wounds. The scene then bleeds into the opening credits, and once those credits are done, shows us the now Archangel Aziraphale dealing with the angelic horns and trying to arrange one simple little thing. The Second Coming. He's facing problems he didn't expect. At least one angel, Sandathon, Paul Shahidi, wants Armageddon to go ahead again. Another, Uriel, Gloria Obiano, is increasingly sceptical about the divine checklist, whilst a third, Muriel Quellen Sepulveda, seems only to want to hang around with the Messiah. He's a nice-looking chap. The Messiah himself, Bilal Hasner, seems to be very, very confused about the whole damn thing. But it's only when he, that so easily confused Messiah, finds the lift that goes to Earth, that heaven's problems really start. Earth, this time round, teaches him a thing or two he didn't learn 2,000 years ago. That last time, the Messiah learned about cruelty and death and blood. This time, he learns how to play Find the Lady. Right, what did I make of the finale of the last series of Good Omens? Let's talk about the elephant in the room, shall we? Let's talk about Neil Gaiman, because that, I think, affects whatever else I say in this review. As you already know, Gaiman co-wrote the first two series of Good Omens and co-wrote the original novel with the late Sir Terry Pratchett. But in the past year or so, he's faced accusations of quite serious sexual misconduct. I personally hope he's innocent of these, but I'm also thinking he should face whatever charges are brought and face the decision of a court and a jury. It's their decision one way or the other. That said, Gaiman moved away from direct involvement in any of the projects based on his work, including Good Omens. I think that's a shame, I do. But I can understand the necessity. It avoids publicity even while it loses work for the cast and crew making the show. It also, I think, affects what we've seen on screen. With all of that said, what did I see in this final episode? What did I make of the finale? I will be honest, I think Gaiman stepping away from the show is a good thing. It keeps any associated bad publicity away from the show itself. However, I think that move has an unfortunate effect, a downside, if you will. It strikes me that there's a lot of plot thread left unexplored. Michael's theft of the Book of Life, for example, seems to be missing a lot of strands. The war in heaven could have had far more meat on its bone, could have theoretically been the whole of an entire first episode. I am also very aware there's a love story between Crowley and Aziraphale, as well as an intense scene where Crowley in particular sacrifices their relationship in a debate with God, Tony Moody, and Satan, Toby Jones. I will be honest, I'm not sure the love story is something I wanted to see. I'm not exactly the target demographic. That said, the story, God's rewriting of the universe so Crowley and Aziraphale can spend their dying days together, is both romantic, it's touching, it's beautifully done, and it's incredibly well performed. It really is beautifully done and very watchable. But that sort of brings me to my point. The first two series of Good Omens were 6 episodes apiece, with episodes clocking in at roughly 50 minutes an episode, which meant each series ran to approximately 5 hours, some 300 minutes all told. Compare though each series in length to the finale's 90 minutes, we see that this last series is roughly 1/3 the length of each of the preceding 2 series. It is fantastically well told. It's very well acted. It is beautifully written. But for my money, the finale is missing a good chunk of story that we should maybe have seen. There is stuff in the Good Omens woodwork that nitpickers are going to like, I think. For one thing, some of the cast are going to catch Doctor Who fans' attention, as well as the attention of anyone who's a bit geeky. We know perfectly well that David Tennant, Crowley, played both the 10th and the 14th Doctor. We are equally aware that Michael Sheen voiced House in The Doctor's Wife, written by Neil Gaiman. I was pleasantly surprised, though, to see a gangster called Brian, the gangster who's tricked Crowley out of his Bentley in a rigged card game. The gangster was played, of course, by Sean Pertwee, whose late father John was the 3rd Doctor. Oh, and Derek Jacobi, the Metatron, the voice of God, played the Master back in the day. There's also a minor character called Mutt Spouse, who first appeared in the 2nd series of Good Omens. I don't know if their tattoo is genuine, but it does include the seal of Rassilon, the icon of the Time Lords. If it is, it's nice either way to see it. There are also theological mentions in the finale. Well, okay, maybe not theological per se, but certain things are mentioned that the writers have at least double-checked, seemingly. I've already mentioned 2, the Book of Life and the War in Heaven. The book is supposed to be the record God keeps of who's allowed into heaven after Judgment Day. The war is a long-standing tradition that's apparently the basis of the Book of Revelation and served as the basis of Milton's Paradise Lost. It's a war between God and Satan at the start of history itself. There is also a mention towards the end of the problem of evil, the problem of a benevolent God allowing the existence of suffering, which isn't necessarily something that can be covered in a 90-minute movie, but at least it gets a mention. The last bit I picked up was the Messiah, was Jesus himself, who refers to himself as Joshua, son of Joseph, Yehoshua ben Yosef. I'm told that's the English translation of Yehoshua, the old Hebrew version of the name Joshua. I'm not especially religious particularly, but it's interesting to see the mentions and the attempt to try and have some sort of religious relevancy going on. Right, so finally, what did I make of the finale of this last episode ever of Good Omens? I have to admit, I enjoyed what I got. It's well written by the named writers involved, as were the 2 earlier series. It's also very well made, very well put together, and both Tennant and Sheen put in superb performances. Granted, the love story isn't quite what I was after. I was hoping for more of the first series, more of the parody spy drama. But nonetheless, the finale is very watchable and enjoyable. But it's also very imperfect. Gaiman stepping back from his role as notional lead writer of the series meant that this final episode one that should have been 6 episodes over 5 hours is 1 episode over 90 minutes, and it's far less than it should be. Right, that is this review done, dusted, swept under the carpet and jumped on. Whatever I've done to it, I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you either agree, disagree, or would like to comment on this video. There's plenty of stuff underneath there. Either way, I hope you've enjoyed my review and the episode. Either way, I'm not sure when my next review is going to be. I've got half a mind to sit down with the 5th series of For All Mankind, especially given that I've watched all the earlier 4. I don't know if I'm going to be watching a movie or telling more jokes or telling whatever else. Either way, please feel free to subscribe. Please feel free to comment. Please feel free to share. And if you're feeling generous, the tip jar is up there. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching this long. And whatever else you do, take care.